afternoon. It is Saturday, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. What in the world, what kind of curveball did 2019 throw you? And on into 2020, just some crazy events happened. And Karl had some life-changing things thrown his way, and he is here to share with you how, oh my gosh, Karl, I don't know how old you are.
I'm 64.
At 64, he learned some different ways. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Beth Bolitz. Welcome. Karl, thank you for being here and spending part of your Saturday with us to share. Tell us where you're coming in from. Tell us whether you're catching us in a replay or live, and ask your questions as we go along, because we want to answer them. And Karl, tell us a little bit about what this past couple of years brought to you.
Well, I guess if I was going to start when the way you say a past couple of years, I would take you back to, this is going to be weird that I remember this, but there's a reason. September the 22nd, 2019. It's interesting that you ask about what 2019 brought. I thought you would have said 2020, but 2019 for me, it had been, so it was September. It had been a pretty good summer. I was being fairly active. My grandson, who we lived together, had moved in about 6 months before that, and things were good. And I remember on September the 22nd, decided that, you know, I should be having more fun. I should relax a little. I should be, you know, going out, and I just started kind of loosening the grip that I had kept on myself for a while.
Okay.
So that was the end of 1919, September actually. Then fast forward to almost a year and a half later, March of 2020, when we got the work from home order. All of us at where I work, you know, we talked to each other and thought, this is going to be a couple of weeks at home. The company's overreacting, and so let's have a good time. So I pretty much treated every day like the weekend. And I had already, because of the way I'd been living for the last year or so, had put on a couple of pounds that I didn't need. And then the pandemic came, and what I thought was going to be 2 weeks of let's just kind of treat it like the weekend turned out to be pretty permanent, actually. 4 months after that, so 4 months into the pandemic, it was July the 13th, the day that I remember, that it just dawned on me that I had gone a whole long way down the wrong road, and had just let myself go. I had gained even more weight, but I was lethargic. I didn't feel good. I wasn't sleeping well. I didn't have energy, and I decided that I needed to make changes. So
wait a minute, Karl, you had your grandson move in.
Yep.
The pandemic hit. You got stuck at home working from home. Every day was a weekend. How many of you have been in those shoes? I bet the majority of you out there watching us today have found yourself there. So then on July 13th, what happened?
Well, I say I hit my own personal rock bottom. I got disgusted with how things were and decided that I was going to change, make immediate drastic changes right now. I cleaned all of the junk food out of the kitchen, got rid of the Diet Coke. I used to drink two 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke every day, in addition to at least a pot of coffee. And then with this 2 week stay at home, have a good time, I was drinking whiskey every night, and it was horrible. So that was easy to straighten out. Eating good food, drinking water all day and all night is not too hard. But the other component that has to go with that is to move your body. I needed to move, and I've got some fitness equipment in my place. An elliptical machine is one, and so I decided on that July the 13th, after I got finished cleaning out the kitchen, I went down to my gym and got on the elliptical and went for 2 minutes at what I call a moderate pace. It was actually pretty slow.
Okay.
And I just had to quit. And much of it was my physical condition, but I know from having been there, most of it was my emotional state. I did not feel good physically, and when you don't feel good physically, everything is hard.
Absolutely.
I just didn't want to do it. So that was July. I went for the next so I had been home for 4 months. I went for another 4 months, just trying to will myself to do the things that I knew were good for me, to make good decisions.
Right.
I really couldn't get anywhere. I was completely stuck. I I felt like I had, both hands and legs tied behind my back. So I went online, started looking for supplements, and found some stuff. And I think all of us have tried some supplements now and then, and I could never tell any difference with or without anything I've ever tried. So I bought some more. Yeah, I bought some more stuff from this guy online that just, is a beautiful guy, but I kept looking, and I found Gina's story, the person that introduced me to Thrive, that helped me make some of the most substantial life changes I've ever made.
Well, were they hard, Karl, or were they hard changes?
No, that's the thing about this is I ordered. So I found Gina's story in November, ordered Thrive, took it the first day that I took my Thrive, my 3 steps was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I described Saturdays just feeling like I was kind of fuzzy. But day 2, I'm a day 2 thriver. I woke up day 2, took my 3 steps, got busy doing things around the house. I've got a 2-story house here that I cleaned the entire thing. Did, even those little things that you say, oh, I'll get that next time. I did everything.
Everything.
I had a woodworking project in the living room, a window I had been working on for about a year that it was one of those things, and this happened a lot pre-Thrive. It was one of those things that I always promised myself, I'm gonna get on that this weekend or tomorrow. Where I did that Sunday, and then, Cody, my grandson, has a lot of clothes, and he never does his clothes, never does his laundry until he has nothing left to wear. So there was 5 loads of clothes of his that I did. So Beth, Cody came home. That was a Sunday. He came home about 10 o'clock that night, Sunday night.
Okay.
And walked in and was noticing the things, like one at a time. He said, "Oh, you did this, you did that, you did." And he finally said, he said, "This is a Sunday. What's going on? What's going on with you?" And it wasn't until he said that I realized this is different. I accomplished more in that day without planning, without willpower, without forcing myself. When you're thriving, when you have that pure natural nutrition in your body, you just go. You just are enabled, and you just go. But it wasn't until he said that I realized what was happening. I thought, oh my God, this feels so good. So over the next month, there were 3 other incidences very similar to that, to where Cody, my 24-year-old, would say that, look at what you're doing, or look at you, or you finally, the third time that he did that, he said, there's something that is different about you. And he
didn't know what you were doing.
Well, he's 24. He doesn't care that much. He loves me.
Right.
He doesn't know a whole lot of details about that. But the last time when he said there's something different about you, and he just stood there and stared at me like, he expected me to say something. And so I told him, I said, I found this nutritional supplement. It's a formula called Thrive, and it absolutely has changed my life. And he said, oh, that's good. And that was 24. He didn't care that much. But I guess one of the reasons that I go on about that and talk about Cody is that for our newer thrivers, or people that are considering thriving, when you get into this, pay attention, because it's human nature that when you feel bad, you're very well aware of it. But when you feel good, you don't think about that. You think about you're in the moment. You're doing, you're going, you're living life. You're not examining, how do I feel? So it helps to have somebody around that can point it out. And it was such a powerful experience for me to have him see that.
Well, Karl, how has this has impacted you? Because I met you a long time ago on social media, I think when you first were introduced to Thrive. And between then and now, I see a big difference in your face. That it's
Beth, is it a good difference, or?
Well,
Okay.
what I see is that you appear to have less inflammation in your face.
Yep.
Is that true?
That's very true.
Do you feel that? Do you feel like throughout your body?
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So on July 13th, I was wearing 42-inch waist stretch jeans. So I always say they were stretch jeans. So if they'd been regular jeans, maybe they probably would have been a 44. And they were tight. So maybe should have been a 46 in a regular jean. I don't know. But I do know there were 42-inch stretch jeans. Well, I'm wearing shorts right now. But yesterday, the jeans that I wear are 32-inch regular cut Wranglers.
Whoa,
So,
that's an amazing difference.
Yeah, that happened where I started in July, pre-Thrive. I didn't start Thrive until November. I made progress just because I had so far to come from, so far to go. But I didn't make a lot of progress, and I was completely stuck until I found Thrive. Most of that difference in the jeans was from November until February.
Okay.
That was incredible. Yeah.
So let's fast forward just a little bit. You have decided that this made such an amazing difference. And well, people started noticing Karl's making changes. Obviously, when you lose that amount of clothing sizes, when you run into people in the restaurants, now you're opened up there in Wisconsin, and you're able to get out and about. What in the world are people saying to you at this point? Because Karl's not what Karl was a year ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can start with my sister. My family is in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, but one of my sisters said, "You don't just look different. It's not just your face looks different or your waist.
Right.
Your voice sounds different. You act different. You are different." And she's right. I mean, I can feel that difference. I was on with the pandemic, everybody's living on Zoom. I was on a Zoom call about a month ago, and there were people on there, many of whom I haven't seen for years. But one of them messaged me, sent me an email through our company system when we got finished, and said, "If you had not spoke up and started talking today, I would have had no idea who that was."
Wow.
Sitting there looking at me on the screen, he wouldn't, and we've known each other for years. So he said, I could not even recognize you, but I knew your voice.
Yes, you know what? I've had the same thing happen to me, and that's such the most amazing testimony to what Thrive can do for you too. Those of you out there watching, there's somebody out there watching that is looking for that one thing, that missing thing, because they just aren't able to. They're only able to think about those things, like that wood project that Karl had, or getting on that elliptical and trying to exercise. And those things now have shifted. So how have you begun? What is the coolest thing about not just your transformation, Karl, but in the ability to now people are noticing what's happening with you? What's the coolest part of that for you?
Well, Beth, I mean, obviously the coolest part, as much as Thrive has done for me personally, the thing that means more, and I've got that means more to me than anything, is to be able to share this with friends or associates that I have known for a very long time, and to have a part in making a substantial difference in their life and how they feel about their opportunities.
Yeah.
When it's such a deceptive thing that we can become so unaccustomed to not feeling our best, and we settle for it without even realizing that there's an alternative. And in my own case, I can think about pre-Thrive, thinking about, is it harder for me than it is for other people? Is it, the truth is, and I want to make one point clear, that because people that know me, they see the difference in how I appear physically.
Right.
Weight loss is a tiny part of what can result from using Thrive. What Thrive is nutrition. It's not a weight loss product. It is pure natural nutrition, the highest quality someone probably has ever had, most likely ever had. And the results of lack of that kind of nutrition show up differently in all of us because our body chemistries are not all the same. Some people, like me, gain weight. Some people, though, turn to skin and bones as a poor nutrition. There are people who start thriving and actually gain healthy muscle mass and gain weight because that's what their body needed.
Absolutely.
Sleep. The three big things for me is energy. It's not weight loss. It's weight loss as a result. It's
Mhm.
energy. It's it's a calm, natural confidence. The energy that comes from Thrive is not the jittery kind that you get out of a can of artificial stimulant. This is energy as nature intended it to exist in your body, and
Absolutely.
the calmness that comes with that, the confidence, so the energy, and then the sleep. I have joked to friends before that I used to lay down and sleep 9 hours with no problem. Now I sleep 6 hours, and it's not that I don't need another 3 hours of sleep, but something hurts, and I woke up.
Right.
Well, I still, even with Thrive now, I only sleep about 6 or 7 hours a night, but I sleep sound. I wake up in the morning and I feel so rested. I wake up and I haven't moved. I used to wake up and it would be common that the pillow would be on the floor. I
Yep.
wake up at night in the same position that I lay down in. I sleep like a rock, and that just lifts you off the ground. Good restorative sleep is one of the most. It's as important as nutrition.
And
So
it's getting good sleep is such an essential part of our body restoring itself. And I know that that was one of the massive changes for me because I even slept more than that
yeah.
pre-Thrive. And to be able to wake up and feel refreshing and just go through the day is amazing. Karl, it sounds to me like you've shared with way more than two people here with about Thrive, but what's the magic about sharing with two other people? If somebody's on here going, you know what, I'm scratching my head, I hear you talking about this, I've heard you, Karl, I've heard you, Beth, talk about Thrive, but you know what, I'm just not sure how I can figure out how to fit in $5 to $7 a day to spend on myself. But let me add this, you are worth way more than that, but there's a really more,
Well,
there's a cool part about this, Karl.
so let me. I want to say two things about it, Beth. And the first one is probably not what you are expecting at this moment.
Mhm.
The best thing about sharing Thrive is sharing the experience, the
Yes.
quality. The quality of life is the best thing about sharing Thrive. Now, we've all gone to some place that had like the best hamburger we've ever had, and we went and told 25 people about it. Oh my God, you got to go here and have this hamburger. It's amazing. With me, people started commenting about changes in me and
Mhm.
asking me about it. And when that first person, and it's a friend, it was actually a few people, but the very first one, this was in a small group of people, a good friend of mine. When that gate got open and I got asked, "What are you doing?" It was like the dam busted. I had so much to say, and I told this person, "We have to sign you up for this, and we've got to do this right now. Get your credit card out. We have to do this." And I didn't mean to be so forward, but it's such an incredible thing to be able to share with somebody and see the light come on in their eyes, and to see them wake up and realize the potential of what they can accomplish. You know, not everybody wants to physically work out. It's a
Right.
good thing for people to do, but that you don't have to want to do that to thrive. You just have to want to be the best who you are, and that's
Yes.
what Thrive will do for you. So to your question, when I started sharing it with people, the way Thrive works is that if I always tell people that I share Thrive with, I don't want you to ever sell this to anybody. That's not why we do this. We do this to relish life. But
Yes.
when you feel like I feel about it, when Thrive does for you what it's done for me, or does your version of it, you're going to want your best friends to know this. You're going to want them to have the opportunity to feel the way you feel.
Hmm.
And as you share it with them, when two friends are thriving along with you, then your Thrive is free.
That's right.
So, it makes a difference, like you said, of a few bucks a day. That's good. But compared to what you're doing for the people that you love, that's worth millions.
I totally agree. And if
Yeah.
you are out there watching and you have a loved one, a family member, a friend that isn't quite sure what next step to take to improve their life and the quality of their life, share this video out with them. Share this with them and connect us because we want to share what it really genuinely means to thrive in life. And that sometimes may sound cliche, but it's really, I truly thought that at first too, Karl, but it's not, because it is a whole different It does change every element about you because you begin to get healthy from the inside, and it
Yeah.
radiates as to who you become on the outside. So, Karl, one other thing. Do you know about how many people you've shared Thrive with at this point since last November?
Yeah. 30, 32, maybe somewhere in there. Yeah.
That's fantastic, and they're sharing with other people too, right?
Some of them are. Yeah.
Some of them are, and
Well,
some of them are
yeah.
just health thrivers,
Well, I was just saying, people have different personalities. Some of the people that I've shared it with can't help themselves. They have to go tell everybody about Thrive or anything else.
right?
Other people are not like that. They just so. I don't want anybody to think that if you talk to me or Beth or any thriver that we're going to try to talk you into having a job.
Right.
If somebody is out there looking for an incredible opportunity, I mean, I'm talking about a product that sells itself. If you can just convince people to try it, it sells itself.
Absolutely.
This is a great opportunity. But that's not why I got into it. I have a full-time job. I've got a great career. I do this because I love it. And so everybody's got their own path. If you want to share this with your friends, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you don't, that's okay too. You take care of yourself. Let's just thrive.
So, Karl, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know that there's one person out there, at least, that can feel your story and your passion, and how Thrive has changed your life. And thank you so much for sharing, because everybody deserves to put premium grade nutrition in their bodies. And if you're not sure what it is, drop us a comment below, and we for sure will get you all the details on this and let you know more. It is truly fits in the first 30 minutes of your day as you're getting ready to head out the door. And thank you, Karl. Thank you for being here today.
Beth, thanks for having me on. And Gina, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.